Hey everybody, it's late. I know. I got home late, but I want to finish this wreath. Oh, look, Lordy mercy. I want to get this wreath done tonight because I don't know if I can do one tomorrow night or not because I'm going out of town this weekend. So I want to get this one done tonight. And I didn't really clean up my stuff from last night, so I'm moving stuff around. Whew, I should have cleaned my table off. Gracious mercy, gracious. All right, let me get me going down here so I can see comments. All right. Clean my table off. Gracious mercy, gracious. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Hopefully this is gonna be a quick wreath. Tonight I've got most of it already done and I kind of know what I'm gonna do with it. Let me get you situated so you can see what I'm doing. And this is a ribbon wreath. We've made these before. This one's a 12-inch and it's, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so this is done with gray, it's like a gray felt ribbon. There's a plaid, there's a black and white buffalo check. This is just where you cut ribbon strips and put them in. We've done these before. So I already have this base done. I need to fluff it up a little bit. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with it. We have, there's a grill. There's a couple miles, you know, because I live out in Egypt land, right? And we have a little local grill that's been open a year or 2 years. I think she might have just did her 2-year anniversary. I think it's been 2 years. But anyway, ever since it's been open, I've wanted to make a wreath and take it to her, just kind of like a goodwill gesture, because I think it would just be really cool. And I just couldn't come up with the inspiration that I wanted to make it. And then I saw this ribbon after Christmas at Michael's, and I thought, gosh, this will make a perfect wreath. And I was in there, Brad and I went to eat, I think last weekend, and I was like, this ribbon would be, it's just her colors. So I'm like, I know what I'm gonna do with this wreath. I'm gonna make it for the wreath that I'm going to take down and give to the owner of our little local grill. Just as, because I think it would be fun. It would be really cool. So I'm just fluffing up the ribbon right now. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. And I had to do a lot of thinking on this to come up with my inspiration and my idea for it. So I've got the front kind of fluffed up enough. And I finished the back with littles to the back. So if you were to put it on the door, it looks okay on the back. So it's fine. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hang that there. There's no top or bottom on these kind of wreaths. So let me change you, I can get you guys around a little bit so you can see. There's really no top or bottom. And I actually, after Christmas, I found these little, like a little tobacco basket. And it was $3 and I got it like 75% off at, I'm not sure where we were. My friend Dorothy and I were out gallivanting around and I found it, and she was like, oh, you can do something for Christmas with this. So I was going to do, I had bought some picks for it to do Christmas, and actually I still had the picks here. I was going to put little picks in there, something like that, and make a Christmas thing. Throw that out the door. I'm going to put it on this wreath. I'm going to put it, I think, maybe cat-cornered. I don't want it to go this way. I think I want it to go like this. So I need to wire it in to be my first thing. And I think I'm going to zip tie it. I'm going to zip tie it in. I think I'm going to go around the 4 corners. And I should be able to, yeah, I can separate my, let me see if I can get back in my frame here. Hoping you guys can see this. I need to move my camera a little closer, but anyway, I can separate my ribbon and get to my frame, and I'm going to pull my zip tie, kind of awkward with it up like this and me trying to stay out of in front of the camera. I'm going to pull this up here like this. And you don't have to zip tie this in tight, because if you put it in there too tight, it's not going to rest on the outside. So I'm going to leave it loose for now until I put my 4 corners in there. So I'm going to come down here, find me some wire, the wire frame, and I'm going to zip tie it around there. Might be easier to run my zip tie under the wire first and then bring it up through my basket. How was everybody's day today? Hey, Betty Jean. Betty Jean will know who I'm making this for. So Betty Jean, you can't be telling. You cannot be telling who this is going to go to. All right, so I've got that in there like that. That like that. I need to wire this corner over here, so I'm going to get another zip tie. I'm going to go up through my wire. And that's the forgiving thing about doing ribbon. Once I get this through, you can fluff your ribbon back up. So again, this is how you can take a base. You might have an old wreath base, and you can take it and change it up and make something totally different out of it. There's that one, that one. I need to do this other corner. And if you don't, I mean, if there's something that you want to make something for and you don't have the inspiration for it right when you're thinking about it, give it some time and kind of think and keep your eyes open when you're out looking things. You will come across the right thing that you need in order to make that special wreath. All right, so I want it to be down in, I think that will be good. So now I'm gonna tighten up my zip ties. Tighten them a little bit at a time till you get it secured the way you want it. I don't want it too loose, but I don't want it too tight either. See, I've almost hidden it, but I don't think I can come out anymore with it. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. If it's not, once I finish with it, I can always take my zip ties out and change it around. Again, that's another beauty of using zip ties. So I'm going to cut these off. Let me tell you the craziest thing. This morning, I was watching a YouTuber that was making bows, and she was looking for this ribbon. She had this ribbon she was tying a bow with, and she was saying how much she liked it, but it was sold out everywhere, and she couldn't find it. And if anybody were to run across it, to let her know. Well, I'm driving down the road as I'm listening to her. I'm not watching her, but I'm listening. And she comes up and she said, "Oh, so-and-so found it online at Pieces of Mine Designs." And I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute. That's my name." And I'm like, "I don't sell ribbon." And she asked her how she found it, or how she found the site. She said, "I Googled it. And it came up on Google." And she said, "Well, is it an Etsy shop?" And the lady said, "No, it's a Shopify." Well, I have a Shopify account too. So I'm like, well, this is weird. So when I get to work, I Google Pieces of Mine Designs, and actually my website is the first one that pops up. So then I go down and I look at some more, and there's all these Pieces of Mine and Pieces of Mine Designs here, and Pieces of Mine other things. And 4 years ago, when I came up with my Pieces of Mine name, and if you Googled it, there was no other Pieces of Mine. Back in the 80s, there was a Piece of Mine shop in England. but nothing around here. Well, now there's all kinds of pieces of mind. So what actually the one that had the ribbon, their shop is Peace, P-E-A-C-E, Peace of Mind, M-I-N-D, which was going to be one of my names if I was just going to do weddings. It was going to be Peace of Mind for your peace of mind. Peace of Mind, M-I-N-E, for your peace of mind was what it's going to be. But I was shocked at how many pieces of mind there is out there. And here I am thinking I still had a unique name, and oh no, not anymore. So, which is kind of nice, but I like that my website comes up first on Google, but I don't put anything on the website, so that ain't good. Okay, I'm going to put something in this basket, but I'm not going to put it in until after I finish decorating, I think. Because I don't think that's going to show up the way I want it. So I might have to do something different there. So I don't think it's going to show up. I think I'm going to need to move my basket up because I wanted it to sit on the top. But if I tie it in like this, it's not going to. So I don't know. I'm going to work on that. So anyway, what we're going to do now is I want to bring some life to this because it's pretty like this, but to me it's a prettier like winter wreath, and I want it to be where they can use it all season. So I'm going to we're going to add some greenery to it. So I've got I've already pre-cut some boxwood, some of the white heather we used last night. I have some of these. I've got some little succulents like this. I have just a bunch of little things. So we'll start placing these into my ribbon bundles. You don't have to pick any of these. All you got to do is put a little bit of glue on them and stick them down into the center of your ribbon bundles. And what you're going to do is you're going to just kind of, this one, you don't really have to do what's at the top. It puts at the bottom, what's to the left goes to the right. You can just go all the way around this one because I have enough of these that I can go all the way around my wreath. Can you guys see this? Let me cut this one down a little bit lower. It's supposed to be really pretty this weekend, so I'm glad. Although I think it's supposed to rain Friday, I think it's supposed to rain. And actually, when I went to this same flower class last year, actually, I think the last 2 years that I've been to this flower class, it's rained on Friday. But it's all right. It doesn't dampen my spirits at all. So we're going to stick this down in. This is how you can take a winter wreath and make it into a wreath that you can use all year long. I need to put some more glue in my glue pot. I'll tell you what, I am loving my glue pot, other than my glue strings. And that's not the glue pot's fault. That's the kind of glue it is. So then what happens is that you get glue strings all over your glue pot, which makes it a mess. But it's the perfect size to use in the house. And I don't have that great big skillet up here. All right. We'll see how quick we get this one done tonight. So I'm going to have you guys digging in your attics. Hey, Dorothy. I'm going to have you guys digging in your attics. You're going to find old wreaths that you got here and you got old wreaths there, and you're going to be pulling them out, and you're going to go, well, Donna does this to this wreath, so let me do this. And you guys are going to be sprucing up all of your, there's Emmy, and my granddaughter's sending me a text saying I love you. It's her nightly text. She sends me texts at night before she goes to bed. And then usually I don't see them until late, so then I have to text her. I'll text her back and she'll see it in the morning. All right, we have our boxwood, and I've got it spaced out evenly around our wreath. You guys see? All right, now I'm going to go in with this. This is just, now there's no purple in this wreath, but remember I told you I wanted to bring it out for like spring. So I'm going to use, this is like a little succulent, and it's got a tint of purple to it. So I'm going to add this into my wreath. Somewhat close to where my boxwood is, but not exactly where my boxwood is. You want to spread this out. This one might be too long. Let me see. I'm going to bend it just a little bit. Again, you don't have to put a lot of glue on it because it's going to glue right to that ribbon. My glue's getting low. I'm going to have to put more glue in here, and I don't like to add glue because then, I have a hole right there, I'm going to put that in there. Because then, you got to wait for it to melt down, and I don't want to wait for it to melt down. But we got to add a little bit. This glue pot really doesn't, it really does a good job of making your glue last. Sometimes, that's the bad thing about when we use the skillet. Sometimes it evaporates too fast. Like when we're at the market, we sniff glue all day long, which is probably not good for our brains. But, yeah, now the other night when I was using my glue pot here, I had it too high. And I was smelling it. So then you have a headache. All right, let me go back. We're going to put, I've got one here, one there. Let's put one up here. Now I got to work around my pellets that I just put in there. There we go. Put that down in there, just like that. And I have another one. Let's go to the outside over here. So you got to be careful not to put everything right in the center part. You need to work the inside and outside of your wreaths. Okay, remember how I always show you the sides of my wreaths when I'm finished? You want to make sure that you've got stuff on the sides of your wreath. Let's put that one. And I really, Siri keeps talking to me through my watch, y'all. I'm really not sure how this is going to turn out. It's an idea that I have in my brain that I think is going to look like. And so we're going to hope that it turns out. That's what I do when I do weddings. I picture the whole reception, wedding, everything in my mind of how it's supposed to look. And I know what I want to do. And I did a wedding one time, and they asked, is there anything written down that we got to do? And my Dorothy, who's watching, said, no, it's all in Donna's brain. She's got it all up in her head. She knows what she wants, and she's got it written. I don't write it down because if I write it down, nobody could understand it anyway. So I just picture it, and then I work towards what's in my mind that I picture, how I think it's supposed to be, which is exactly what we're doing for this wreath. I've got it pictured in my mind, what I think I want it to look like, so we'll see if it comes out. Dorothy Truth, yep, that's it. That is it. I have it in my mind. I do it with wreaths at the market. I have in my mind, if it's a special designer wreath, what it looks like, and then I usually try to make it that way. I just don't want this to get lost. So we'll see. All right, so now we've spread our purple around a little bit. Yes, it's still not showing up quite as much as I want it to, but I'm going to go back now with these little white heathers, and they're going to come out, and it's going to bring a little bit of lightness to it. I just got to decide where I want it. And I had debated on whether to put some larger flowers in here. But I don't think flowers is really not what I'm going for, because this is a country place and not frilly. So I don't think I want to do flowers, but I may end up having to bring some lightness to it. We'll see. So what I'm doing now is I'm looking for places where there's ribbon put together that I can put this white coming in there so it's coming out to bring a little bit of light and airiness to it. to the wreath. And then that way our ribbon kind of then falls to the background. So it's like our backdrop. So that one's there. I'll put this one maybe up over here. I thought about this wreath last night, y'all. And I thought, okay, I'm going to pull this stuff together. And tomorrow night I'm going to put this wreath together really quick. And of course, then I get home from work at 7:30. And then I'm like, it would have been just easier to say, no, I'm not doing a live tonight. I'm going to chill and go to bed. And I'm like, no, then I can't be on here with you guys. So, and I want to get this done. Now, when I'm going to get it to them, I don't know, because I won't be here over the weekend. But I'll get it down there. All right. There's that. And I just burnt my finger. Woo! Okay. Cold water's on the table. Yep. See, I coated my finger. You guys see that? But I have my cold water down here, like I tell you guys to do, and it stopped the burning. So hopefully I'm not going to pull the skin off of this one. So we'll see. Oh, perfect. Look. It just peels right off. Ta-da! Back in the glue pot it goes. And my skin is no less for the weary. Cool beans. All right. Now I have water on my hands, and I don't have my towel over here. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. All right, back to putting our, oh, I have one more of these. So I've got one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. And maybe I'll go up top with this one. Yeah, I think up here. Okay, me and this Siri watch are going to have serious issues. I'm here to tell you, because she wants to talk to me all the time. All right, there we go. It's moving fairly quick. I wish the camera, I wish the cameras would show up better. I won't have to save my money and get me a really good camera so you guys can see these better. I do have the lights on it though. Let me change this one. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know if I can get it out. I'm probably gonna make a mess. I don't think I can get it out. All right. Maybe. That brighten it up a little bit? Hopefully that brightened it up a little bit more. And y'all can see, I found one of these on the floor. That's too much right there. Maybe over here. Maybe over here. I think I like it down there. I'm gonna put it down here. Okay. Another white one. I think right there looks good. So let's put some glue on this. Stick it right down in there. And another white one. That's too close to that one. Let's separate these and see if it can go down in there. No, see how these two are sticking out right here? You don't want that. Those don't look like eyeballs. So you don't.
Did you try again?
So you don't want that. You don't want that. So maybe. No, I don't like those. Let me put that one up here. Looks better up there, so we're going to go up top with it. You have to be careful when you've got like flowers that's got dark centers. You got to be careful when you got things like this that are sticking out. You need to look at them, because if you're not careful, especially with flowers that have a dark center, it'll look like you got eyeballs sticking on your wreath. So you got to be careful where you put those. That's when it's nice to stand back and look. Like last night's wreath, when I got off, I stood back and looked at it, and my bottom, I don't think, was as thick as what it should have been to equal out the top. So I added a couple more flowers to it to even out the bottom, and it looked a whole lot better. All right, that looks good in there. So I'm going to separate this out. Do our trick. Hold your hands the way you want it to go in. Come right back, and I'm going right up in there, right where I wanted it. Okay, there's that. I glued this ribbon over, but it's going to be all right. I got to sneeze, sorry. Excuse me. Oh. All right, another one of these. That one looks better coming down that way. Now, I stuck that other one in the same spot, and it didn't look good because of the angle that it was like growing. But this one turned a different way, so it looks better. Let me get over here.
I'm sorry.
Maybe. Let me go down in here. All right, I'm going to separate these and put this one down between these two ribbons. Okay. All the time you're fluffing your ribbon as you go. All right. Now, we're going to, I want to add some little succulents to it. I've got some little succulents. And I think I want to go, I wanted to make my basket to be up front, and I was going to put my succulents in it, but it is really buried down in there because you can't really see it. Let me see. Well, if I hold it back,
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
if you hold it back, you can see it, but it's still not. It looks better from the back. See, that's the way I wanted it. Maybe I need to turn it around. Maybe that's what I need to do. So let me try that. And I didn't put it in, well, the good thing I didn't put it in so tight, because that way it'll be easier to cut out. But maybe I can flip it upside down and it'll do more what I want it to do.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let me take this out. Let me fluff some, maybe I fluff some ribbon underneath it. I don't like the ribbon behind it. That's not what I want either. All right. And I want to put on that. I really want it to be. I really want it to be like. Okay, guys, this is a challenge. You're gonna see. This is like the wreath we did the other night. that I had in my mind and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it. I really want it. I really want it to be more like that. So now the question is how do I put it in there so that it's sticking out like this? I could glue it to the ribbon, but I don't really want to do that.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Let me work. That's a cute idea, Betty Jean. A little small hot dog, a little artificial hot dog to go in the center, and it would look like a deli tray in the center. Exactly. That would be cute. That would be cute. See, you got everybody. You're thinking. All right, let me find my. I just don't know, y'all. I just don't know. Let me see. Maybe I'll do it from the side. Let me work it this way. I need to forget it. I need to work it through this ribbon, but I've got this stuff glued. There we go. All right. Betty Jean, I probably have a hot dog back there in my granddaughter's kitchen stuff. All right, let's see if I can get through this side. Remember what I told y'all you had to get, sometimes you just got to get down inside your wreaths. And don't be afraid to do it because you can always... Did I totally... Well, I want y'all to look at there. I totally missed that wire on the other side. Totally. Look what I did. I just looped it around the basket. I didn't get the first wire in there. All right, let's try it again. Let me try this again. There's two sets of wires in here. One's low and one's up a little higher. I'm trying to get it around the one that's up a little higher. And let me try it this way. And this may not work at all. It may not do at all what I want it to do. And I might have to,
I'm not sure I understand.
all right, I'm going to have to add, stay right there. I'm going to have to add another zip tie to this one to get it long enough. Stay right there. Okay, now I put two zip ties together. So that gives me the length that I need. Now to get it positioned the way I need it. I'm pulling one side and then pulling the other side until I get it the way that I want it. This is like a lot of trial and error. It's going back down in there. Okay. I want it more like that. But it's still going down too low. It's still...
I'm not sure I understand.
Hush, Siri. It's still going down too low. So, we're going to take this out. And we're going to take this side out. let's get these out. Okay, this is going to stump me for a little bit. All right, let's turn it over this way. Maybe it's going to have to go this way. Let's try this. And if this doesn't work, I might abandon this idea and do something different. All right. Where's my wire?
Siri here. Let me know if I can help.
Siri is really getting on my last nerve tonight, y'all. The good thing, though, is little Miss Annika's not barking tonight, which is good. All right, let's see if I can get this in. I'm going to have to do 2. Put this one through here. And put this through here. Okay, now we have that one that way. This one is down here. So maybe I do 2 and glue it and put it at the top. You guys got any suggestions? Let me have them. Because sometimes y'all can see things that I can't see. All right, let me find. See if I can get it through this wire ring without zipping it to my easel. I have done that before. I have made wreaths at Christmas time and be doing like a special designery for somebody, and they'll be standing there and I'll be getting it finished, and then I go to take it off my easel and I have zip tied it to my easel. So then you got to take it apart. All right. Let's pull this. And let's pull this side. Where's my other end? Oh, it's all down in there. Okay. That's better. I may just have to leave it a little bit loose so that it doesn't suck it down in my wreath. All right, let me see if I put one at the bottom. At least you can see it a little better now. I like the other way. I like my idea the other way a little bit better, but I don't know. Do you guys know how to do 2? If you get 2 zip ties, you can put one inside of the other one. Just like that. And then you zip it around, and then you work both of them to get them the length that you need. All right, let me find my, I'm going to go around. This one's a little bit easier. I can feel it, I think. There we go. Oh, I didn't need 2 for this one. Whoopoo. Oh well, I got them hooked together now. I got to go for it. I could have done that one with 1. But it's okay. It'll be just fun and dandy. All right. We might have it the way I like it now. We'll see. We shall see. And I'm wondering if I ought to cut these, or I might leave these hanging out a little bit for now. In case I have to take that up a little bit more. I think. I'm going to leave these longer in case, well, I could do that one that way. But there, pull it back. All right. No, hush, Siri. Okay, now that I've messed my wreath up. All right, I think that's going to be better. All right, I am going to cut these off.
Try again.
I'm just not going to cut them down so short in case I've got to pull them a little bit tighter. I'll leave a little bit I can kick.
Sorry, I don't understand that.
Okay, all right, we're good. All right, my idea now is to take these succulents, and I wanted to put them on the edge. I might have to go a little bit bigger. I wanted these to kind of go on the edge of my basket down here. Now, when I put this together last night, it looked good. In my mind, I was thinking, maybe that there. Maybe that there. All right. Put a succulent up here. I don't know. This is a challenge. There's one thing to say, I don't make just your standard wreaths. That one looks cute in there. That one looks cute, so let's go with that. Stick that down in there. And then we'll go down here with one. Maybe let this one peek out down here. We'll glue that right to that ribbon. So we'll have that one peeking out down there. And then let's put this one peeking out over here. I think I only have 3 of these. So we kind of got a triangle there, there, and here. No, I got one more. So let's see about up there. Okay, we're gonna go up here with this one. And my thought being, by putting the succulents in, it was kind of like when we did the wreath the other night with the succulents in it. It's more like I want my ribbon to be my base, but my plants are growing up around it and out of it to make it more kind of like a garden-esque type wreath is what my thought process is. Now, I don't know whether I'm conveying that to you guys or not, or whether it's looking that way on your end. Then I have these have a touch of red in there. Watch what this does. I like that because that's bringing it out. When I put this in, what happens then? Can y'all tell? When you look at that wreath, what happens is then it's drawing your eye to that little bit of color there. It's bringing it from just being kind of bland to bringing it. So I'm going to put these across from each other. So that will balance out my wreath because I only have 2 of these. So we're going to put this right in there.
I'm not sure I understand.
You know what? I'm going to have to take this watch off when I do lives because she is really testing me tonight. All right. There we go. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. All right. I have this one. I have one up there. If I put that one there and I put that red one there, it'll be too much if I put this one over here. I think. But it might actually look good in there. Let me see. I may have to cut it off some. I put it, maybe have some of the,
Beyond my abilities at the moment.
I know, Siri's saying it may be about beyond her abilities at the moment. This might be beyond my abilities at the moment. All right, if I put that one kind of in there. We have our wood piece in the middle. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. So let me put some glue on this one. I'll glue it and that one I got to make sure that it gets down in there because I didn't put any glue on the back of the top of the succulent, and they'll be top heavy, so you want to make sure you get your glue down in there so that's going to hold that. The last thing you want is for that to be falling out. All right, this one may be a challenge. I want it to go down in there like that, but there's nothing to glue it to. So I may have to, let me cut this off a little bit. I may have to separate my ribbon so that I can glue it up in my ribbon, but I don't want it to get lost. But I do want it to go, I do want it in there. All right, we're gonna try, I'm gonna put a little bit of ribbon. I'm gonna put a ribbon piece right in that hole where I need to put this. I'm gonna put me a good amount of glue on this little bad boy. And we're gonna stick him into that ribbon that's gonna go in to through the hole in here. And hopefully that ribbon in that hole is going to hold that succulent. Looks like it. All right, I think we're good. All right. All right, now I've got to glue this big boy down here. Same thing, it's going in a hole that's nothing to hold it with. So let me see if I can slide it underneath my basket. If that will give me the same look that I'm looking for with it being up on the basket. No, I'm not sure. I don't like that. It pushes down, pushes my ribbon down too much. Well, look at there. That's not good. Well, it was hung on there because it hooked around. It hooked around. All right, our succulent has come apart, y'all. So we're gonna take the glue gun, put some glue in the center, and I'm gonna glue it back on there. Put another little dollop of glue on the top. I'm gonna glue my top piece back on. Okay. Now, I've got to decide how to put this one in here. I really want it. If I go a little shorter, don't y'all like the way I talk? You know, I thought, I was like, all right, I talk to myself all the time when I'm doing crafts, but I was watching, I've started paying attention to other people who are teaching, and they talk to themselves too. If you guys talk to yourself when you're doing things, please let me know. All right, so that might not be. This I really wanted to be bigger, but I couldn't. I didn't have the stuff to make it bigger, and I still might. I still may make it bigger. Get my glue on my succulent here. I am going to spread some of this glue on the bottom of this succulent. Since it's so big, if I can get some glue out on my petals, I stand a better chance of it holding. All right. I'm going to put this back down in here. There we go. All right. starting to look gardenesque. All right, now I just have to decide if I want to add anything else. I want to add berries. Do I want to put, oh, I know what I wanted to do. I think I want to put some of these in there. Well, I glue some of these little wildflower-like things in there. That will lighten it up a little. I don't have any mass flowers. My succulents are acting as my mass flowers, my bigger flowers, because I didn't have any bigger flowers that I wanted to put in here. I don't know if that's going to go in there or not. I thought about, I have some solar wood flowers that might look good in here. I might could add those. If I think after I put these little white ones in there, if it doesn't lighten it up enough, I might add the little solar wood flowers. I'm going to add these in. Just to give it that little bit more nature wildflower-like likeness. Now definitely, since I'm gluing all this stuff in this ribbon wreath, then I won't be able, obviously, to take everything out and reuse. We can take everything off and reuse the wreath frame, but of course I won't be able to take everything off and change it up and reuse my ribbons like for Christmas or something. But if you wired your stuff in, by all means you could take everything off, or you zip tied it in. You could take everything off and change it up for Christmas. Well, how many times am I going to drop something and bend down tonight? Let's see. And I'm sorry I got my back to you guys. But that's the only way. It's the only way I can get these in to see what I'm doing. I'm just working my way around this wreath. Putting these just where I think that they'll look natural. There we go. And then I've got one more of these. There's a hole right there that I don't like. I'll put this one up here. Okay. All right, you all see? All right. You guys are quiet tonight. Y'all must be really paying attention. All right, let me decide if I need to add I want to see something. These are not the color that I would use, but I want to see if I added some little white flowers. They might work. Hang on a minute. Let me go get a solar flower and see if it works. I'll be right back. If I can find them. Well, we're going to scratch that idea. All right. Oh. Oh. All right, sorry, that took longer than I thought. I have to scratch that idea because, of course, I can't find them. But I'm not sure I would like them in there anyway. I must have taken them out to my building. I did find this little bird nest with some eggs in it. That might look gardenesque. I kind of like that up there. I kind of like that up there. And of course, you know, if we do a bird's nest, we got to do a bird. So let me see what kind of bird we got. I would do the bird somewhere else. Maybe have him sitting over here. It's a green flowery bird. I don't want to put yellow, I don't think. Nope, I don't want yellow. You definitely don't want purple in there. We might have to do the green. I do have a red cardinal, but that looks too much like Christmas, so I don't want to do that. I don't want purple. I don't want pink. I do have hummingbirds. Green, I don't want yellow. Well, yellow might not be so bad. I think I like the green bird up here, I believe. Can y'all see our bird up there? I think I like the bird up there. Orange, yellow. That's a pink. Don't want yellow. I don't want blue and yellow. I don't like that. The green doesn't look bad. If I were to do a green hummingbird, put him kind of like in there. Well, his little beak is all messed up. So maybe if I fly him right there, maybe. I need to operate on him. Maybe if he's there, our bird's up here. I don't like him there. Maybe I do. I'm playing around right now, guys. I want to see. Maybe if he's flying on that one. If we put him there. Well, maybe not. No, I think I like the green one better. I think I like the green one better. Let me go back. Let me bring it back. Let me look. So we have the nest up there. And the bird peeking out over here. We could do a hummingbird right there to give it a little bit of snazz. I don't know. What do y'all think? I think I kind of like it. There's a lot going on in our wreath, but it definitely looks gardenesque. Alright, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. I'll dip my bird's nest in my glue. And I'm going to sit it right back down in there. Enough to where you can still see it. I'll take my little bird. Take my paper off the bottom. And I can't really sit him in there, so let me put glue on him this way. Oh, Dorothy, if you're still on here, guess what I found yesterday. You'll be proud. Look what I found. Metal spoons for the glue. Yay! That probably didn't help y'all's ears any. But I've been looking for them. And I went to the thrift store yesterday and there they were. I'm like, yes, and wooden handles. So we don't have to worry about melting the handles. Alright, I want to put him, I think I'm going to glue him to that ribbon right there. I really wish his beak would stay up. So we're going to doctor on him. See his little beak keeps going down? We're going to doctor on him. I'm going to put a little dollop of glue right there. Hold his beak out straight. So we'll glue it on there. Going to hold it for a few minutes. Yeah, no more melted handles. No more melted handles. They're a little bit big to use with this small glue pot though. So I'm doing an and trick and I'm using a stick. But they're gonna be perfect for our big glue pots. Alright, I put a little bit of glue on the clip that's on his belly. And I'm gonna glue him to this ribbon right here. So that way I can move my ribbon around and it'll look like you can tell that he's a hummingbird. That way I can bend my ribbon. Alright. That's what we got so far. It looks kind of gardenesque. And it's got our black, the reason for the red and black background, because that's the colors of this place. So, now I'm going to put this in the center. I really want it to be bigger though. But I don't know if it's, but if I go bigger, then it's going to hide my basket, right? If I go, say this size, you can see it better, but it's going to hide my basket. If this was like a medallion, I don't think we're going to be able to see that. So, I think I'm going to have to go with this one. I'm going to go for it. I want to go for it. I'll have to. I'll just add something around it. Alright, I need to put my pipe cleaners on the back. So, we're going to put a dollop of glue, just a big dollop of glue on this, because you want it to hold. I'll put my pipe cleaner in it. Hold it down. Betty Jean and Dorothy, when I reveal this, you'll know where it's going to go. And then you'll be able to say yay or nay, whether I need to leave this or whether I need to take it off and do bigger. So, put this on there and glue over the top. There we go. Now we gotta let this glue just dry for a minute. Whew. Then we'll be done. What time? We're not doing too bad on time. This is the last thing, and then I'll be done. I think, and then I might tweak it again before I actually take it to them. But once this glue sets up, I'll be able to put it in there. Let me play. And I really wish I could have found the solar wood flowers, but You know, I love lavender. I love lavender and everything. I just love putting lavender in everything. I'm letting my glue, my glue's got to set up. So Dorothy, when we go this weekend, I need to get more boxwood, and I need to get, of course, more ribbon, and I need to get birds and boxwood birds, and maybe some more little white filler flowers. So keep me on track so I'm not getting too far off in my purchases. But definitely need to get ribbon. It's taking that glue a long time. Well, I put a lot of glue on it. That's why it's taking a while for it to set up. I should have went ahead and glued that on before I came on. But hindsight's 2020.
Here's what I found.
Oh, Siri's talking to me again. All right, I'm just adding this little bit. I add, and I add, and I add. It's starting to get opaque, so we're getting there. Maybe this can go up in here like that. Yeah. Maybe if I bring the center in a little bit, I just stuck my finger on that glue pot. That was smart. Maybe if I bring the center in a little bit frame it out with the lavender. Here's an idea. If I do it this way, and I put my medallion in there, it just might work, y'all. It just might work. Let me get some glue on this one. I'm going to glue this one right in there like that. This just might work. Put that one coming in like that. I like that. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of sort of framing out my center here so that when I put my medallion in the middle, it won't look so lost. This really needs to, it's almost setting up. It's almost there. And then we'll be done. I'm taking these pieces that are curling like this, and that's what I'm using. See how this one curls? That's what I'm using to come in and frame my center. I'm liking this. There we go. There we go. We're getting there now. I'm getting a little bit happier about this. My design's coming to life. Yeah. There's a lot going on in that wreath. But is it better? Can y'all see better back there or better up close? All right, let's see if this is glued enough. I'm going to add a little bit more glue to the top. I want to make sure that this is going to stay on. Then I think we'll be done. See, that's going, when I glue that in there, that's going to look better. I like that it looks like a garden though. You know what? This would be really pretty as a table arrangement. Put it on a table and put a like a hurricane lamp in the center and put a candle up through it. Oh my gosh, that would be pretty. Or if you had a like a crystal cake plate and had the cake plate coming out of it and have your vegetables and stuff on the top of it, that would be pretty too. That would be really pretty. I'm getting glue off of my table while we're making this dry. But this would be, let me see if I can take it off. See, if this went on the table like that, look how pretty that would be. That would be gorgeous. So you guys can see it. Now I get a little closer, y'all can see how it looks like a garden. It's like that's my idea. Y'all tell me whether you see the same thing or not. Because, you know, I think outside of the box. I don't think inside that box. Mine goes outside. There we go. I am outside the box all day long. All right. Now let me see if I can get this in there. I think it's going to work. I'm going to put a dollop of glue. Ta-da, I'm about to reveal it. Oh, hey, Kay. I'm almost done tonight. I did get on late, though. I didn't get home from work till like almost 8 o'clock. I'm going to put a dollop of glue right in the center to kind of hold my medallion when I put it in. And then I'm going to put my medallion right in the middle. My glue's leaking. It's running. I want it to be like this. See, I got the wrong, I need to do these two first. I need to get this one tight. And then I need to get this one tight. We're getting there. I'm so excited. Yeah, Annika's excited. She's like, Mama's finishing. And I'm going to take these two. I've got it wrapped around there. Then I'm going to take them all and wrap them around again. So hopefully that will secure everything in here. And I could go in and put a little bit of glue on the back side. I need to cut this off because it's flying out. All right, I think that's on there. Fluff our back. Our mechanics are covered on our back side. Let me see what it looks like before I turn it around. Exciting. I kind of wish it was a little bigger, but I think it's going to be all right. All right, you ready for the reveal? There we go. That looks kind of small, but I think it'll be all right. But can you guys see it? Can you see it, Betty Jean? It's going to say Black Sheep Grill in there. I'm going to take it to our grill that's down the road. So Betty Jean, you can't say anything. I kind of want it bigger, but I want to be able to see the basket too. So at least you can see it. So you guys tell me what you think. Oh, I don't like this. And if I decide I don't like this and I want to go a little bit bigger, if I decide that I don't like that, I want to go a little bit bigger, I can always take that, because I have not glued. I did put that little bit of glue in the center, but it's not enough that'll hurt anything. I can take it off and put a bigger medallion in there. I just think if I go bigger, I think if I go bigger though, it's going to cover up my red basket in the back. Oh, that ain't good. I have a hole right there. So I'm going to put some boxwood in there. And maybe put a little boxwood in the top. I knew that that's what it was. How did you know? Because I talked about it, didn't I? I have been wanting to do a wreath for there for the longest time. And so I don't know. I think the colors will, I think it'll work. I think it'll, ouch. There's hot glue right there. I think it'll work. And if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. You know what I mean? But I think it will be cool. I dropped glue on my bird, y'all. Now, I just won't get it down there though until, gosh, it'll probably be a week from now. Because I won't be here this weekend to take it. And she's not, I don't think she's open on Thursday nights. Alright, so there we go. It's our kind of our garden-esque wreath. So you guys tell me what you think. Please, in the comments, yay, nay, too much, too little, not enough. I really like succulents in wreaths too now. I really do. But it's a different kind. The reason for it is the colors of this establishment are the red, the black, and the gray. So that's the reason for the background of it. And then I wanted to bring it out like it's country. So that's why I did all the succulents and stuff growing in there. So I could have done vegetables or something like that, but it's not really a vegetable place. So even though she has really good country food. But there we go. So that's what I got for you tonight. I probably will not do a live tomorrow night. You never know. I might pop on, but I don't think I will because I've got to get all my stuff packed for my flower classes this weekend. So, anyway, I'll just be tweaking it tomorrow. I'll look at it and see if I like it. And if I need to tweak it, I probably won't be putting this on my Facebook page for a little while. It needs to go this way. There we go. That's better. Alrighty, that's what I got for you. It was really quick tonight, kind of, sort of. That's it. So, you can take your old wreaths out and doll them up. Put different stuff in them. We're all about using pieces of yours or pieces of mine to create your designs. That's what we're all about here. All right, guys, have a great day tomorrow. The weather's supposed to be really nice. I'm going to enjoy this, the warm weather coming. My sinuses don't like it because the pollen's starting, but other than that, it's all good. And I'm going to be off to classes all weekend long, so next week I'll have things to come back and share with you, I hope, and maybe show you guys some of what I've learned. Dorothy will be with me. We'll both be learning, and I'll show you what I make in my flower class on Sunday. If I think we can bring those home, it'll be fresh flowers, so hopefully I'll have to come on Monday night and show you guys that. That's going to be like a wedding crown and the pocket boutonniere. So that's what I got going on. So anyway, you guys have a great night. I'm going to get off and pay Annika some attention, let my boys out, and then I'm going to get bed, go back to work tomorrow. So you guys have a great night. Thanks, Kay. You have a good Thursday too. Tomorrow's my Friday for this week. So yay! So anyway, all right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging with me while I was making this wreath. I certainly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.